Okay, getting heat and air serviced. Aaron Stover is here cleaning out my AC units for my spring cleanup maintenance. He's really good at this job. You should totally call him for your HVAC needs. I apparently should have had him out sooner. I don't think we cleaned this last year, or maybe even the year before. That's not good, apparently, according to Aaron.
I was saying that when we wash these off at the beginning of spring, this is all just accumulation from last year.
Okay.
Right? So as it runs over the summer, it collects all that dust. You wash it off in spring so that you're ready to go through the summer. And then at the end of this summer, it will accumulate some more dirt, and we'll wash that off in spring of 2025.
Because if you don't,
it'll just continue to accumulate. And what we want is as much air as possible moving through this coil so that it rejects the heat above. If it compacts with dirt and dust on here, then you just reduce the efficiency of the unit, and it can cause performance problems.
Okay. Which means you would probably have to replace it sooner. Right?
Yeah, it's going to be hard on the compressor. It'll increase pressures and get real hot. It'll cause fan motors to go out, compressor failures, things like that. So yeah, this is just like changing your air filter. You need to just do it regularly. The backside's always the worst. If you live near cottonwood trees and they're blooming and it looks like snow outside and cottonwoods compact onto the unit, those need to be washed off more frequently. So you may have to wash 2 or 3 times if you're near one, and you wash it off, and then next week cottonwood's collected on it again. You got to keep washing it off. Usually with my customers, I will kind of train them on how to just keep it clean without having to take it apart the way that I do now.
Okay.
This one I probably will. I'll wash it in both directions.
Okay. Because it's been a minute since I did it.
Yeah. So all of this dirt here, wash all this stuff off, but you can see how much of it is inside of it. I know you were trying to give a video of that earlier. Look over here. You see all that?
Yes.
Yeah. There's some different methods of cleaning, and a lot of people will take the top off and clean them from the inside out and all that kind of stuff, and that's fine. One manufacturer actually recommends burning it, with a torch, but I'm not a fan of setting something to fire on.
No.
A typical average homeowner can wash these out with gentle water pressure. The stuff that's on here, I usually try to wash off just off of the surface of it. And then if you put water directly through the coil and watch it on the inside, if the water's coming through there nice and clear and white, it's clean in that spot. But if it looks like a chocolate drink coming out, you need to work that area a little bit more.
Okay.
But like I say, there are different methods. People use different methods and stuff like that. This one's dirty enough that we'll take the top of it off, and I'll actually wash it both from the outside inside and from the inside to the outside.
So proud.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
This is what's called a double row coil. So you have dirt and dust that collects on the outside, but it will work its way in between there. And so if you look closely at the top, you have a set of coils here, but then you have another set of coils in here, and dirt and dust can get stuck in between there, so it can be concealed. Sometimes you'd have to split the coil apart and try to get in between there. That's what I'm watching for. When I'm washing this stuff from the outside, I see it come through here as white. It's clean. You can push a lot of that stuff right on through.
Okay.
Yeah. That could be an indication if something's wrong, is if this thing starts to melt. If you look closely here, you can see how that's kind of got a little bit of an indentation there.
Yes, that's not good.
Right. I mean, this is okay, but when they're bad or they're pulling high amps or they're running hot, this stuff will melt and create a loose connection and potentially a dangerous situation. But this is one of the things that we look for on maintenances. Fine them before they get.
Oh, yeah, true.
So there's the lattes that we can measure electrically. The fine problems before they become a breakdown. You know what I mean? They capacitance on capacitors. That's all stuff we can measure. Voltage drop across contacts is. We measure all of that stuff. It just makes it convenient to just go ahead and get it fixed before it breaks down when it's 110 audit.
Right.
Slides right out. It's just real easy. This one being Linux just is what it is. And really, it's just 4 more screws and that thing comes apart. But yes, getting these things back together can be a pain because you got to hold it all together and screw it.
Okay. Yeah, no. Hard pass. We're going to let the expert.
It's really not necessary because this thing is it's getting clean without having to go through all that extra work. Stuff that accumulates down in the bottom of it really doesn't affect performance. until it builds up and starts to cover up part of the coil. So this is like really minimal.
That's good news.
Yeah.
How does it get in there?
Oh, is this?
Closed.
Well, you've got lube.
Oh, right.
So yeah, stuff can work its way through there, especially over the winter. You know, when the unit's not running, the fan's not running or anything, that stuff can roll down in there.
The hose, I like your hose attachment.
Yeah, fold a bullseye. My favorite attachment for cleaning them, because you can just use a little bit or, you know, a full jet. But yeah, it's pretty nice.
Is that a Home Depot Lowe's thing?
I think they have them at Home Depot. This is the most common failure for HVAC systems, the capacitor. The normal 230 volts that we get from OG&E is not quite enough energy to start up the electric motors inside your equipment. And so what this does is gives it a jolt of 440 volts. It's just enough energy to get them up and running, and then they run off of the power from OG&E. This has a measurement on it. This is a 70 by 10 microfarad. So if I put my meter on my microfarads and we measure across common and hermetic, this will tell me whether this is bad or not. On my meter here, we got up to 65 microfarads, 66. We've got 70 plus or minus 5%. What's 5% of 70? You do 70 times 0.05 is 3.5. So we're allowed 3.5 microfarads. So that's 70 minus 3.5 is 66.5. So we're still within tolerance on this, but it's on the way out. Heat is what kills these things. That's why in the summertime, you know, when it's 100 and something degrees outside, your capacitor will go bad. Let's check the other side. There's two sides to it. This one's 9.7, 9.8, so and it should be 10 plus or minus 5%. So your fan motor side of your dual run capacitor is good. Let's check this side again. It's struggling to reach 70. So we're at 65, 66. So according to the math that we did, this one is just on the very out on this. If this was mine, I would just go ahead and continue to run it. But if I had to guess a breakdown this summer, it'll be this.
So we should probably do that.
You can change it if you want to. I actually I don't know if I have a 70 by 10. This is kind of a weird size, so I'll check and see if I have a 70 by 10. But these run $125.